There are very few sounds and no smells at all. And at first you think that you're in the basement of the training complex where your kids and you go for baseball. Long hallways, smell of training mattresses from somewhere, old stale sweat. But then a deeper slumber comes over you. And the hallway doesn't seem as friendly or inviting or nostalgic as first. It's one of those weird dreams where you're not really sure who you are or why you are there. But you are. It is as if you are short, very short, seeing the walls and chairs from 3-4 feet height, gliding through the corridors of Armley Jail, close to the ground. You move past a bathroom door with an out-of-order sign hung on it. It's the grey early hours of morning. You pass a room filled with broken chairs and some old workbenches. You crawl up a stairwell. Halt, listen. Nothing. They're all sleeping. Slid further up. You're not quite sure how you are propelling yourself through the corridors. Your footsteps can't be heard. And when you pass by the first guard, you realize that he doesn't see you. The screw with a grey mustachio chewing on a morning biscuit. You're in the radial now, moving closer and closer to the wing. Then you turn away, down the long hallway towards the exit, the chapel, the medbay. You're outside now, looking in. The screw passes in through the door and you with it. And for a moment you see yourself on the bed as your eyes snap open. Paul, you're awake. It's early. Too early. Someone's in the room. It's one of the screws. Your heart is still pounding as you wake up.
Who's there? I start looking around. See the screw.
Good morning, Richards.
Morning.
Are you feeling better?
There was someone with you. I squint tiredly, and then his question slowly arrives. How am I feeling?
You're feeling panicked, but it's subsiding, and your body does not hurt as much, not half as much as you remember. Just twisting your body makes it hurts a lot. There are still wounds. They've been sewn shut. Some of them you do feel much, much, much better.
I made it.
And you smell a lot. There's the smell of the blood, the disinfectant. There's the smell of Abi, the guy who stabbed you, who's still sleeping, medicated on the bed beside you. His smell is salty, musky, very, very strong. It almost gags you when the screw is chewing his bacon biscuit and sipping coffee from a thermos. You look right as rain. Much better than yesterday. How long were you in there with him, by the way? Like half an hour more?
I think I try to sit up and I feel myself. Did I dream how bad it actually was? I think to myself. There's What about him? He doesn't look that much better. I was worse when I came in.
Yeah, I would say he's not as good shape as you, Richard. Which, all things considered, is bloody miracle. But no sick leave for you. You have been assessed that it might be alright for you to go back to the cell. What do you think about that?
What's your name?
I'm Wilkins.
Wilkins? Did I meet you before? You seem...
Yes, you did. I took you down here. You weren't really conscious, but you were screaming a bit, so maybe you do. I saw you first day also and during induction, so...
Right.
But we've not been on a first name basis, and you know what? We're never gonna be. So, Richard, are you okay to bunk up and get bang up in your cell?
I guess I am at that, Wilkins. Thank you for taking care of me.
No worries. There is this thing. I think it would be bad etiquette for you waking up next to the gentleman who stabbed you, say, 8 times?
Must have been shallow. I mumbled to myself and I pat myself over.
Yeah, it must have been. Still, when you start rising out of bed and swinging your legs over the side, it does hurt. You have one of your lethal wounds is gone, and 2 of your bashing damage is also gone. Still hurt, but not half as bad.
Who was it that sewn me up?
Oh, yeah, we had one of the volunteers helping out the way these 2 cases at once. So it was 3, 6, 9, I believe. Richards. No, that is you. It was 5. I think it was 374? 374? Ward. Yeah, he was on the volunteer list. You got in together, so I do believe you know each other.
I guess I was lucky.
He did do a good job, and looks like you needed that.
Yeah, well, if you see him, why don't you give him my thanks? Oh, wait a second. Which of the guys was that?
This is Ward.
Was that the guy with the glasses?
Yes, Dr. Ward. You were persecuted together. He was your colleague while you were in the force, as far as I can tell. I know you might not want to be associated on the floor, but in sharp contrast to many of my colleagues, I do read the paperwork.
I just look at him for a while, and then I shrug. I get up and I have this feeling. I'm just looking behind him, round me.
You get up. You realize you're still attached to the blood bag that is standing on a stainless steel stand next to the bed. The needle is still in your arm.
Have I removed such a thing before, or?
Yeah, you have.
Alright. Well, I tried to do that carefully then.
Do it carefully, using the sticky tape as a makeshift band-aid. There's still a glistening drop, a carbuncle, deep red, on your arm, slowly soaking into the white fibers of the makeshift plaster. And that's when you see it. Maybe seeing is the wrong word. Sensing, corner of your eye, slithering towards the door. A darkness. A misshapen lump. Something. Rags. Was that an eye? And it's gone. It wasn't just a dream.
As I see it, I try to grab something and throw at it. It just comes as an instinct.
The closest thing is the stand for the blood bag. You grip it and fling it. Crashes into the door. The screw launches towards you and presses you down on the bed. Pain shoots through you as you see through the glass window in the door that the thing slithers, lost somewhere in the corridors. Gabrielle. It's early. Or late. The light is slowly shifting from grey to something more substantial on the color scale. An amber tone starting to leak into the bleak light. And you're so tired. The one you shared so deeply last night, the one who you now have an intimate connection to, way deeper than the slightly musky taste in your mouth. He is stirring on the bed, almost awake. You are there, starkly visible in the early morning light.
Yeah.
You can hear the jail slowly waking up, the screams, someone laughing, someone screaming, plates banging, rustling of keys, the screws getting ready. They should be here in minutes only, but you keep away until then.
Yeah. My plan is to go into the shadows and then just follow him out when the door is open. And get out of this prison. But I also kind of want to go and look on Paul. They should have taken him to the hospital ward, shouldn't they? Shit. Okay, first thing, get out of this cell, then decide, Ellis. I prepared to go into the darkest corner of this cell and become just a shadow myself.
It's high time. He's starting to reach for a pack of tobacco on the floor. His hand scratching the concrete floor, finding the pack just as you pass him to the corner. The blood wants to do something else, but you twist it in your mind. Somehow it reminds you of sitting there in the bar and waiting, but nobody looking at you. Walking to work, nobody looking at you. Being ignored, passed up for promotion, ignored. Rouse the blood, please.
Not getting any hungrier.
Maybe it's the emotions and memories that make it so smooth. The blood carries you into the deepest shadows where you forget yourself, forget how you look. So does everybody else. He folds a piece of thin newspaper into a cone and fills it with some dry tobacco, lighting it with a thick wooden match, sucking deeply on his morning cigarette. Geordie mumbles a little bit. He turns over and reaches for something under the bed, extracting an old newspaper. Half sitting in bed, he's reading and smoking. The newspaper is 5 months old at least.
Does he seem okay? I took quite a bit from him last night.
He looks ill, pale, and he's still wearing his pants, shoes off, bare chest. The skin somehow patchy and pale. He gets up on one arm and then collapses back, coughing, dropping the cigarette. It starts a small fire and it beats at it, cursing. It takes no longer than maybe 20 minutes until you can hear the loud sounds of the cell doors being unlocked one by one, the grumbling of morning greetings and accusations.
Patience.
They're at your door now. The bolt is being withdrawn with a loud clang, and the thick metal door glides open. Tugwell, get out. Morning. He tries to get up, but falls back in bed. The screw enters the room and leaves the door open. There's two of his colleagues eyeing the doorway quite suspiciously as their colleague goes in to check on the ill inmate. Geordie goes, must have been something I ate and I feel really, really shitty. Can I sit this one out? Like, you want to be banged up again? You want to be banged up for the morning? We'll bring your tea, yeah? And tell me if you get worse. The lady with the blonde braids goes back towards the door, now or never.
Yeah, I'm gonna slip out.
It's a tight squeeze. You need to go sideways and fast. Give me a dexterity plus athletics, please.
Yes, I would love to rouse the dexterity one as well. So I'm gonna do that first.
Yeah.
Not getting any hungrier, which means that I get an extra die. Two. I'm gonna use willpower and reroll 3. I really want to get out. 2.
Did you touch him? He turns around, the tall screw, just on the side of the landing. He turns around and curses, then looks around confused, and you're gone. He looks at his friend. Did you just touch my butt? No. You're moving away fast. They are gathering around the cell door, like looking for something. One of them is, maybe something fell out there. Getting down on the floor. The way forward towards Richard's and Ward's cell doors on this side of the landing is now blocked by 4 screws. Getting out that way is almost impossible. But luckily the stairwell leading to the exit behind you is still clear. Only a few bleary-eyed inmates starting to make their ways out of their cells there. And a few screws.
Yeah, I will take that way.
It's almost too easy to slip past the morning bleary boys on the landing. And soon you're at the radial. The sun is itching a little bit at your back, but it's more a reminder that you haven't slept for a long time and that you've been cooped up in that cell. Every day, every night, this is what Paul and Richard feels. Every day, every night, but they don't have what you have in front of you, the bright morning light of outside. You slip through the reception booths as a caterer comes through with 2 steaming boxes filled with maybe pastries or something for the lunch. Going in, brushing past you. And you're out in the visitors' hall, out by the big glass doors. They open by a motion sensor. They open as soon as you approach. There, outside the 7 o'clock sunlight, is shining on an empty street in the outskirts of Armley. Across from the jail is another brick wall of the same color as the jail itself. A bit further down, a pizza place. Another block, and there's a supermarket. It's empty on the street except for a few cars.
Yeah, I want to turn a corner where I can be sure that nobody's watching, and then drop the obfuscate.
You turn around the corner, and become just another person on the street. On the other side, there's a girl is walking. Teens. She's got a big parka pulled up, smoking a cigarette nervously, walking backwards and forwards. You recognize her. Holy shit. It's Sarah.
Oh no.
She walks back and forth. She hasn't seen you yet. Maybe she hasn't seen you. What the fuck should you do? Francis.
Mm-hmm.
You're awake at least an hour before the morning unlocking of the cells. The roof is just as depressingly dabbled with mildew and moisture in the concrete as it was yesterday. The pictures of the family on the wall are gone. Maybe a screw took them down. Maybe Donnie has them. Somehow makes you feel lonely. The bareness of the cell is now absolute. The only sounds of the other cells waking up slowly.
I sort of just lie in my bunk for some time, going over the situation in my head. I can't believe what happened the other day. How could I have not noticed? Well, there's lots of reasons I wouldn't have noticed, because I wouldn't have thought that they'd have their infected blood stash right there. Clearly, they're not that careful after all. Doesn't matter though, because I'm really worried. Have I turned Paul to Alice? After all, she was infected and in a near-death state. But then, did it matter that she died temporarily? He didn't, or did he? Does it make a difference? Is he stage 1? Is he stage 2? He's stage 1, I'm sure, and he'll be curable as long as a withdrawal period happens. But again, I'm just racking my mind over what potentially has happened to Paul.
Whatever it is, it can't be good. But there's also the question of meaning. What does it mean? How did the blood get there? So many questions. Now the screws are starting to unlock the cells one by one, and there's somebody banging on the wall. Your wall. It's from the other cell, banging.
I kind of get out of my bunk and walk to the cell doors, keeping a little distance, of course, from the entrance. And I just look through the bars. Can I see what's going on?
You look out through the little window in the door, and you hear from, the window next to you. Hello, Ward! Woof! Ward! Woof! Woof! Ward! Ward! Woof! Is that you, Woof Ward?
Yes?
I knew it was you, man. I knew it was you. Okay. It's like... You should... Okay, were you at the Wolf Dog Show last year? Was that you?
Who's asking?
Okay. My name's Crystal, yeah? And I was there, you see. I mean, you saw me down in the basement. I was there with my dogs. We were... You were the one who set off that sprinkler, weren't you? Was that you?
I don't know what you're talking about. I was there, but I don't remember.
I saw you yesterday. Only you can... I mean, I saw you running down for the... And it's like, I saw you running down. You have a really silly run, you know that?
What do you want?
I just want to know if you're the... if you're the one who saved me 2,000 quid that day. Because you did, you know, those sprinklers set me off just as my doggy was getting torn to bits. But then, you know, match over and... I could hold on to my ill-gotten gains. So I want to thank you. Is that you? Was it you?
It might have been. Sure.
The screws are getting closer and closer now down the corridor, and the muffled conversation comes to an end as your next door's cell neighbor in 373 has to be is being taken out, him and his cellmate. This Crystal is a lanky fellow, dirty brown hair, and a large, imposing nose and a wide grin that he turns on you through the door, and he salutes you like a fellow sailor, and he smiles broadly. Yeah, look me up. You should join the game here. You really should.
Yes, sure.
And then he gets moved off as your door opens as well.
I've no idea what this individual wants, but I suppose I can't necessarily look down on people who might be trying to assist me. Still, my gaze briefly turns to Donnie's bunk. One of the issues I now have is not only is he a very dangerous individual to be sharing a cell with, but also involved in the whole thing. Most likely under an infection level himself. I should also assume all the ones who attacked Paul were as well.
He is still lying under the blanket. Both hands under the blanket. He's looking at you, wide awake.
I turn my gaze from him and get ready to have the screw enter.
The door scrapes open, and the screw, short lady, maybe Northern Indian. She smiles broadly. Good morning to you. How have you been sleeping?
Terribly.
Well, your name definitely stays on the volunteer list. Good assist yesterday.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, naturally, Yes, of course.
So you will be working. You will be working from next week's Wednesday, beginning with sorting through supplies. Does that sound agreeable?
It sounds positively riveting. Yes, sure, whatever.
Yeah, she notes you down in a notebook and shoves it down her pocket. It takes you by the shoulder and half drags you out onto the landing and pushes you towards the stairs down to the radial and the cafeteria.
While I am trying to keep myself not too excited by this prospect, naturally I actually am quite keen to get back in there. I'll be able to properly look at those blood samples. Of course I won't be able to look at them properly. It's going to be so irritating having to do things under supervision or not able to do things as I wish, but I will have to do my best, I suppose.
Yeah, it's hard doing anything without being watched here. And apparently that crystal gentleman has, whatever his business is, he's most insistent, because there he is, waiting at the landing of the stairs at the cafeteria, and he's holding a tray with a breakfast on it and shoves it towards you.
Oh, why you shouldn't have. I normally try and make sure I have my brunch early.
I will do whatever. Woof! What a show!
Yes, it was quite the show. I sort of grimace a little as I look at this man, but I figure I'm going to have to play nice.
Yeah. Is that out of curiosity? Who were you working for? Because clearly you were interrupting the games that day. I mean, you put everything on that big black mangy one in the first round. Didn't see you there, but won them all, and whoever bet on that must have wanted the day to end. Was that it? Am I right? Have I analyzed your stratagems correctly?
I tap my nose a few times and say, well, Let's say you're not wrong or right. Close, though.
Excellent. Hey. These pastries aren't half bad. That's a rare treat. You know what? You and me, we should play the game in here.
What sort of game are you thinking?
The game. Okay, it's like this. There's a tradition here now. It goes like this. You make a challenge, anything. Checkers, chess, poker. Even a fight has happened a few times, yeah. Winner tends to get lucky. Very, very lucky. Extra rations, extra markup, screws looking away, all that stuff. So, what's the catch, you ask? Well, loser gets to do a run to the separate housing unit, because, you know, there are gentlemen down there with needs. Drugs, a phone, whatever, getting stuff in there. They cannot manage this there themselves, as you know, enterprising and crafty villains as they are. But still, they do need our help. So, tradition is, loser brings it to them. How, you ask? Very simple. They screw up big time. They pick a fight. They assault a screw. They fucking shove their dick into somebody's face. Whatever it takes to get into separate. Bringing the shit. Often secreted in a bodily orifice or something like that.
Sounds positively delightful. Now, listen here. I have no interest in rations or chocolate bars, but what was that you said about screws looking the other way? How on earth do you manage that?
You realize that this place runs on a whole lot more human manpower, effort, work than the screws can put out. Thus the volunteer system, thus the cleaners, thus we are our own jailers to a certain extent here, and there are trustee positions, there are listeners, there's you, moving up in the world, we see, medical. Over time, we have the possibility to interact with the staff. By the way, let's walk. He takes his tray and starts walking down away from the radial towards the pool tables. The pools are still locked in for the morning. Most of the prisoners are sitting, eating quietly. Yeah, what was I saying?
You were telling me about how this place really runs.
Yes, so, I mean, there's the possibility of interactions. Many of them. And relationships and trust develops, and thus things can happen.
All right, well, I don't...
Including the game. This is in the best interest of everybody that the game goes on, because you know what? If the people in the separate housing units do not get their respect or their due, bad things happen.
Of course.
Messes start, even riots.
Yes, of course. All very exciting. Now listen here, Mr. Crystal. I would be interested. What I would need to happen is this. I'm going to be on the volunteer unit. You probably already know that. I'll be in the medical area. And let's just say I have personal needs. I'd like to have some time to attend to those personal needs without someone looking at me for 10-20 minutes. Could you make that happen? 20 minutes
to shoot up whatever drugs there are in the medical unit? No problem.
Precisely.
That is, I like how you think. These are very good stakes for a game.
Precisely. I kind of wrinkle my nose. I'm trying to assess this man. Is this legitimate, or is he thinking I'm some fool who he's going to attempt to trick, possibly get favors from? What do I think from an assessment using insight?
Yeah, insight plus intelligence then.
3 successes.
He really was there. Yeah, the coin drops and yeah, he was there in that shadowy hallway. Yeah, you recognize him from the cellar corridors under the big stadium, under that dog pageant show, under Wolf, your mom. Everything that happened. He was there, definitely. And he's being candid. He does believe what he is saying. That is clear from the way he carries himself. There's a slight excitement that he believes that he will profit, probably. But isn't that the only reason people do anything?
Of course. Well, that's all good then. After all, I'm smarter than this fool. I just need to win the game. I sort of nod to myself and then say, well, I am fond of a game of chess. You play chess, Crystal?
Me? You're gonna challenge me to the game? No, that was not what I had in mind. I was thinking we pick an easy mark. Like him. You see, Paul comes out of a side door. He is clearly hurt and being held under one arm by the mustachioed screw from yesterday, half carrying him up. He looks better, distinctly better, but not good enough to be taken to his cell maybe. But there he is. Yeah, someone like him. Someone new.
He certainly could be a good target, but I think I know about that one. I saw him, I had to sew him up a little. I don't know if I want to be getting involved with him. I mean, isn't he dangerous?
Well, I have not gotten a blow-by-blow on how it went down in that cell, so maybe you're right. Let's put a pin in that until we've heard the report on how vicious a fighter he is, shall we? How about that guy then? Paul. It hurts a little bit, but it's working. You're being moved quickly, ushered through the radial and up the stairs. You catch a fleeting glimpse of Francis. He doesn't even meet your eyes. And then you're up on a landing. And the voices are very, very loud. You hear even a little bit of what Francis is saying. From here. And through a door you hear, Why did you do it? Why? I mustn't think of the things. Mike, fuck you, Mike. Why did it make you feel something? Did he make her feel something I never could? Something real? Is it better this way? Why? No, shit, fuck, no, fuck that negativity. Fuck. And somebody dropping down to the floor, huffing, puffing, doing push-ups. Another voice humming softly. The sounds of somebody cooking up a needle in one of the cells. It's everywhere. The sounds are fucking everywhere. You can hear everything.
I absent-mindedly put a finger in my mouth and start chewing on a nail. Does anything feel different as well? My hands, I look down at my...
It feels ultra sensitive. Oh, you feel everything. You see everything so clear. It's like your senses are heightened, sharpened. It's must be the adrenaline or something, but it feels frightening but somehow good.
Yeah. I almost feel like I'm in fight mode, waiting for someone to attack me again.
Then you hear it. 3 people talking down there in the radial 2 floors below. You can see them standing huddled together. It's okay. Do you know how it went down? From now on, you do not try to fight him one even 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. Next time, if we do something, we go 10 deep. He pulled steel. He cut. That cop. He will kill you. He will cut you. Okay. I thought, holy fuck, yeah. Did you get a look at? What did he push that? Did he push Abby over the ledging from inside the fucking cell? What the hell happened there? I don't know. Just word is, no touch for now. Okay.
I realize I've stopped, and I stand there and I look down and try to catch the faces of the people that speak.
You catch it back to side of the face. It's the Arab guys from the Uni-Faith group that you met up there on the landing. It's 2 of them. They're talking.
Not the Sikhs then.
Ah, one of the Sikhs is there. Yes, there you go. There is also the Sikh guy is there.
So much for doing them services. I think to myself, but I remember the faces, and I start moving again. Is it just me, or am I being...
You're being followed by the screw. He's been checking on one of the other cells when we're stopping. Now he gently pushes you. Looks at you in an understanding face. I know it hurts. Gotta keep moving though.
I just look at him shortly. I say nothing and I go on. I almost chuckle to myself as I think. I wonder what he thought I was going to do when I smashed that thing. But now I know. There was something there. Wasn't. It couldn't have been. It could have been Ellis.
It must have been Ellis. If not.
It wouldn't have been good if I'd hit her. But why did I see it? Why did I see myself through her eyes? I need to talk to her.
Your thoughts. It somehow feels good being talked about in that way. Some pride, some sense of pride. Having passed something. The respect of the scum of the earth. It's strange how you change. For a moment as you reach your cell, one of the myriad things running through your brain is, will they recognize me now? Sarah stops. You have a split second.
I shouldn't.
If you jump around the corner, maybe Sarah won't see you, Gabrielle.
No, but she's basically Paul, and she's miserable and alone and freezing. I can't. Fuck, this is such a bad idea. I step out. Hey.
Her face drops, then breaks out into a weak smile. Her eyes are red-rimmed. She's clearly been crying. She's got little fingerless mittens on, a little bit cold. The parka huddled tight, cigarette in her hand. Jeans and sneakers and a small body frame as she pushes towards you and hugs you tight. A little bit of shaking in there, but also relief as she looks up at you.
Hey, Sarah, it's okay.
Hey, Gabrielle. Is that you? It is you.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I stepped on the train yesterday. I just couldn't take it any longer. I think I have to see him.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you're here as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're on the lam. You're gone. Nobody knows. How are you here? Everybody thinks you're in Denmark or something.
I know. Come, do you want some coffee? Let's go somewhere where we can talk.
Yeah, I could do some coffee. I haven't eaten either, so if you can throw in a wiener, that would be nice.
Yeah, sure.
She shuffles after you on the street down towards the supermarket and their little coffee and fast food stand right inside on the left side of the entrance.
Fuck. Yeah, I try to think. I'm like, god damn it, this is not part of the plan. Where do I take her?
All right, now to the little coffee corner at the local mart, I guess. It's too bright, too clean, and the cups are too small. But there's hot coffee in front of you, and you're at the table. And she looks a little bit better, even after the first bite.
Sarah, does your mom know that you're here?
No.
When did you talk to her last?
I mean, I haven't been living at home for the last time at all. It's really hard. It's really hard pretending that is, you know.
Yeah.
My family really sucks.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the third season of the chronicle No Man is an Island for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Our storyteller was Martin Ericsson. We were also joined by Anna-Karin Linder. The music was created by Lola Zaza, and the sound effects are from the fine folks at freesound.org, zapsplat.com, and Sirenscape. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Ludwig Manford, Bob Lange, Julián, Cameron, Ryan F, and Xabier for their generous support. And we'd of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. And remember, death is not the end.